a lot of things that doesn't make sense. That it's just not adding up. First of all, let's talk about this canine dog. Canines are very intelligent dogs. That's why the police pick the canine in order to train. So this canine received specialized training to become an attack dog with specialized training to attack a person in the water. So now you have a dog can not only fight better than the average dog, but he can swim better than the average dog. And you telling me this kid, 5 feet, 120 something pounds, was able to subdue this attack dog after he ran from the police, scared in the water. Now that we're talking about training, what about the training of the officer? Whatever happened to reasonable force? Whatever happened to it? This kid had no weapon. He was not holding any lethal weapon. So in that case, you're supposed to use non-lethals. What are the non-lethals? I'm not a cop, but I'm just using average intelligence, average common sense. Tasers, rubber bullets, tear gas, radio to call for backup. Was this officer not trained to call for backup for a kid that is trapped in the water? And he sends his attack dog to train to attack someone in the water. Was he trying to show off the dog skills that he just learned in Orlando? I don't know. But he had no business shooting this kid. He decided to shoot this kid in the head. For what reason? It makes no sense. And then to try to add insult to injury to cover it up with a lie, this has to stop. This is not going on with, like the young lady said, it has nothing to do with race. It's about right or wrong. It's not just for COVID, it's for everybody. Black, white, Indonesian, Asian. This is happening not only in this community, but in other communities as well. We need to stop this senseless attack on civilians. Whatever happened to protect and serve? Right now it seems like it's kill and cover up by the police. And I used to want to be a cop, to protect and serve. And I stress again, used to want to be a cop. Until I'm seeing this is not just an isolated incident. You're seeing this every day in the media. And it has to stop. Thank you.
I live in Tampa Heights. I'm a software architect. I keep it short. I wanted to talk a little bit longer. I'll keep it short. I moved to Tampa for the weather 2001. I stayed for the history and the people. I really believe in what the city leaders talked about, making a connected city, walkable city, bike-friendly city. And we want to be in the action. We renovated a house in Tampa Heights. And you guys did a great job in trying to revitalize the area with Waterworks Park, the Riverwalk, the West Bank. And I can't believe that there's not more uproar from your side about TBX. It's an awful idea. And I ask you to stop it, or at least put a fight to end that, because the quality of life should be more important than somebody spending $20 to save 30 seconds to go through Tampa, not to Tampa. It should be more important that who lives there than actually wants to go through Tampa. It should be a place to known to live well. And I can work from anywhere. I love Tampa. But basically, if this goes through, I will vote in the voting booth, but also will move away to a city who actually gives a damn about the citizens. And it needs to put the fight up for them. Thank you.
Hi, for the record, I am sovereign citizen, Prince King, Elohim, Johnny Bernard Hall, true North American King I am. And I'm here speaking. I'm speaking on police brutality.
Where you stay?
Huh?
Address.
My address 3501 East 23rd Avenue, Tampa, Florida, Jackson High, representing, anyhow. People, I represent all of you people anyhow. You people in the city, you people in this world. We ask people sick and tired of police brutality everywhere. We understand you police don't represent us people. We understand that now. We understand that fully. So what does that tell you the people to do? You gotta step up and reclaim your citizenship. Y'all keep talking about voting. No, that's not gonna help. Y'all keep talking about look at this, look at that. What are you, the people, doing? File your paperwork. Come and reclaim America. I understand you keep saying U.S. That's not us. U.S. is corporation. We the people are America. Y'all keep singing songs about red, white, and blue. Like red, white, and blue. I haven't made it to America yet. When are we going to get out of the corporation and finally stand up as Americans? Yes, we can say, what about crooked TPD? Well, until we reclaim our statuses as the sovereigns that we are, kings and queens, Americans, and stand up and govern and be autonomy and be cosmopolitan, we can't do nothing about the crooked police because y'all still sitting up under them. Stop sitting up under them and step back up. No, your little protesting ain't gonna help either, no. You gotta do more than that. If we're gonna be a country for real, let's stop all this play voting on President Obama, Hillary, the rest of them. No, that's not gonna work either. Those are just puppets. Haven't y'all paid attention to history? Y'all just wanted to keep repeating stuff. It doesn't have to. Let's learn from the mistakes that have been happening. Now, I haven't been here for a few weeks because, TPD wrote me a false report. Heartline was in on it, violating citizens' rights. Free man's right to travel. Heartline, free man's right to travel. That's a constitutional right, not just a sovereign right. That means all citizens, whether they're U.S., North American, immigrant. Transportation here sucks. I'm not gonna pat it on the back like everybody else wanna keep trying to do. Oh, but it's so wonderful. Yes, I like the colors too. But we're not here about the colors. All of you citizens are being duped. But do you really care? If you really do care, then you're gonna stand up and be a real American for once. Sure, you got the title of U.S. Is that you? Last time I checked, I'm an American. And I'm a child of the Most High. Don't let your churches duke you either. Or the false education system, none of it. I see what's going on in the city. We need more people to stand up and do what's right.
All right, let's do a check. If you plan on speaking, please stand so we can, I want to people who come in and add on, we need to wrap this up and move to other parts of the agenda. So if anyone sitting down in the audience plan to speak on the closed comment, please raise your hand. All right, seeing the gentleman that with the cap on, like he had the Chicago Bulls hat, you know? You don't know what your actual hat is wearing? Bull hat? All right, you be last first.
Good morning. I'm Bruce Haynes, and I reside at 2910 North 16th Street, Igbuhay City. I was born and raised in College Hill, and all the other projects there are well known in Tampa. And my approach, I have very good straight knowledge. I do men of power against the violence. I preach to the neighborhoods. I'm also a member of the A. Brown Prison Crusade Ministry, where we get releasers from inmates ready for the work program with the A. Brown Ministry. However, in the approach of a police officer versus a citizen, there ought to be more positive ways of combating capturing someone chased by police officers. Like they say, 5'5", 120 pounds, you should have sicked the pool on the man, if you ask me. But I don't have nothing against the police, but they tactics, they get a little too out of hand, too rough among these citizens. You have people who plead for their lives under the subjection of the police, but we need the city council to review this board of the action of the mayor. The mayor sits in his chair as a mob boss calling shots, but he don't get out in the area and see what's going on. He's going by ear and eye. Chief Ward, what did he get elected for? He ain't doing nothing but the same thing. They should switch seats and let the mayor see what's going on in our communities. And we do have people that's well respected, where we don't have to have policing our areas at all times. I have stopped plenty of fights. I stopped plenty of guns. I've been shot 2 different times. I'm an unsolved mystery. I don't know who did it, but that's not But guess what? I'm still living. But this board got to step up, and we need a board for the Tampa Police Department, because if we don't have nobody to pull for us, then who gonna pull for us? So we have to set up a board to review them. We just can't judge nobody overnight. Not it lasts long like the other murder charges. I approve this message.
All right, thank you.
Susan Long, 920 Broad. You've heard it all about TBX. I agree, it shouldn't be there. I'm not gonna go into why, you've heard it all. I wanna thank Councilman Maniscalco for expressing our views. Here's my question. I spent an hour and a half talking today to FDOT about the TBX. I spent time talking to individual county commissioners. I've spoken lightly with some of you. And the bottom line is I get told over and over again, FDOT cannot and will not do anything about mass transit until the city and the county talk to each other and come up with a plan. Whatever that plan is. I talk to the commissioners, they say city doesn't want to talk to us. I talk to the city, well, the county doesn't want to talk to us. I talk to FDOT, and they say nobody's come up with a plan. They say the only reason Orlando got their light rail, their rail system, was because they came up with a plan. It was the county and the city together. Are you the one shirking the duty? Is it the county shirking their duty? Or is it everybody who's just ignoring the problem? You give lip service to mass transit, but you're not doing anything. If we had mass transit, we wouldn't be ripping up Igbuhay, Seminole Heights, Tampa Heights, to put in these horrible lanes. Thank you.
Thank you. That's,
Good morning, my name is Selma Stark and I'm the president of South Seminole Heights Civic Association. And I'm here this morning to speak against the TBX toll links, and I don't think anybody here is probably surprised about that. I don't feel that it's gonna help my residents ingress and egress from our neighborhoods, which I've said before, and I don't feel it's gonna help anyone in the region to reach us either. It's gonna disconnect our businesses and, from our community events, from people reaching our community events. I don't feel the solution is gonna reduce car trips. I don't feel that it is going to help people to reach their destinations efficiently and effectively, and it's certainly not going to make us competitive with other cities and other regions in the country. Our charrette meetings have started. Our next is November 17th. As the neighborhoods raise issues and concerns and identify our priorities, what guarantees do we have that our priorities will be respected? That any negotiations agreed upon in good faith will be enforceable? We've seen very clearly in the last week what FDOT will do in terms of striking down our local priorities if they don't agree with them. It's been very well publicized. We want a transportation solution that meets our local needs, that we take the time to identify in detail what our solution looks like on a local level. Whether that is light rail, whether it's an alternate rail solution, if it involves bike routes, complete streets, etc. The Tampa Comprehensive Plan has stepped out a good amount of that. We're upset because we feel our values are being disregarded. We are not being heard, and when we speak, agencies point at each other and say, well, this responsibility lies with county, this responsibility lies with city, this responsibility lies with state. We are past that time. We have to come to an agreement to move forward, or we'll be having the exact same conversation 25 years from now that we are having today, and we won't have any solid finished action until 50 years from now. That is unacceptable. I look at what Phoenix has done. They started construction of their light rail system in 2005. In 10 years, within a half mile of that track, they have had $8.2 billion of investment. $6 billion of which is private, $2.2 billion is public. These numbers come out of the Metro Valley Regional Agency. They operate the 20-mile line in Phoenix, Tempe, and Mesa. They spent $1.4 billion to build it. We need to start looking at it as an investment and not as a tax, not as a drain on our resources, but as our future. Thank you.
thank you. Next speaker.
Kelly Benjamin, 301 East Land Road. I want to agree with the comments of the last speaker, and I want to thank Councilman Scalco for the comments on the TBX issue. It's history repeating itself. It's bad planning. It's bad planning, and it needs to Who's next in this community? We've had over 500 police shootings and deaths in this country this year alone. That doesn't happen in many other countries. It's happening here. This city council as an elected body should be appalled, should be embarrassed that this is happening in this community. This 18-year-old young man should be alive today. There's no reason for this. No matter what the circumstances are, he should be alive and continuing with his life. It is wrong. You know in your hearts that what is happening in this community is wrong. This validates all the people who stood up here all summer long talking about accountability for the police department. Use your subpoena power and find out exactly what happened in that incident. Please provide justice for this family, and we will continue to push for accountability for law enforcement in this city. This is the wrong way to go. This is not some joke. Mayor Buckhorn has made it out that these are fringe groups. It's an insult to everybody in this community when we do not take these issues very seriously. This is of utmost importance. These are our community members, family members, friends. Please do something about this.